Hey everyone, in my hands I have the Canon C50 and I finally got it in my hands. I just finished my first shoot with it. I wanted to make a note about this. And not only did I get my hand on one C50, I ended up shooting 6 different C50s at once over a course of 3 days. So I feel like I really got a good chance to get my hands on this, to really feel what it was, what it is, and give you an idea of what I kind of thought and stood out to me after getting a chance to use this for the first time over a real production shoot. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about the Canon C50 is just this. The image quality is awesome on this. I really love it. The C-Log 2, that oversampled 7K, you really get a beautiful looking image from this, which is one of the main things you're going to want to get from any camera anyway. So I was really impressed, really enjoyed shooting the 7K oversampled image on this camera. The other thing that I would say that just really stands out to you, especially someone that comes from the R5 lines of cameras, is simply the fact that this thing is a workhorse. It will not overheat on you. I can guarantee you that. We shot this for multiple days, multiple hour sessions. This thing hummed along without any issue whatsoever. Not a single overheat warning on 6 different cameras, shooting for hours at a time. So if you need a reliable documentary type camera, this is going to be something that really fits the bill and does it really well. Another thing about this that I didn't expect to like as much as I did, and it totally blew me away. I know this sounds crazy, but this handle really is awesome. I didn't think I'd be that impressed with a handle, but it's super ergonomic. It feels good in your hand. It has a start stop button on the top. It has the audio inputs, and it just makes shooting the camera enjoyable. Picking up, running a gun with it was really nice to shoot with. So I really did like that aspect of it. Other aspect of this camera that I was pretty impressed with was the autofocus capacity here in the cinema operating system on the camera. In the past, I've tended to found that the Canon cameras tend to have a little more snappy AF system in the non-cinema lines, but I did find this was really good, and they do have a locking feature on this camera that I found very powerful, because what that does, you can basically tap it on a person, and if you tell it to lock and not hunt, if the person walks off frame, if they go away, if an object comes in front of them, that thing will just keep the focus and wait for that thing to come back. And that is so helpful and practical. I really love that component here of the camera. Another thing I really appreciated having on this camera, even though I didn't use it on this shoot, I do love having an open gate option on a camera. And I did find the IS on this camera to be worked extremely well, especially when I combined it with that new Canon 28-105. Put those on, I was able to get handheld shots, and it just worked great. The IS was very effective, very powerful. Really like that component of this camera. Now, I do want to talk about things that I think you should also be aware of, and I think the form factor of this camera right here is awesome. I think this has a really comfortable form factor. It is light. The button layout is great. It is just really fantastic. It is almost perfect. And when I say almost, that comes with a gigantic form factor caveat. And that is, this thing, as I've said in earlier videos, does not have an EVF. That is a major deal breaker for me. Even in a shoot with like this, having an EVF, it's just so nice to be able to put your eye on the camera and do it. I know not everyone likes EVFs, but if you do rely on them, they are such a confirmation thing to have. Not having an EVF, man, that's a big deal breaker for me. I really missed having no EVF on this camera. The other part about this thing that I do think was worth mentioning out, now that I got a chance to see it in action, was this camera does have a dual base ISO of 800 and 6400. And I love the 800, obviously. 6400 from a practical commercial standpoint, it's just a little weird, I think, because if you're shooting more commercial work, that's a really high base ISO, and this camera is missing one other massive critical thing that I think really makes that even worse, and that is the fact that this camera has no internal NDs in it whatsoever. And I think after using this for 3 days, not having the NDs on that really became super problematic. as we were shooting. It just slowed things down. You just wanted to dial in things just a little bit. And, one of the things that was hard, we were shooting with 6 of these, but we did have a Canon C70. Having those internal NDs on the C70 was so much faster. I feel like having a cinema camera like this powerful, and not having internal NDs, it's just a really big miss out, I think. When I first heard about this camera, I was not happy about that. And now using 6 of them, it really does slow you down. And really the reason I think about this is a run and gun camera. You're supposed to go super fast with it, and slows you down not having those ND filters. For me, that's a really, really big thing. Really wish it was there, and it is not there. So I feel like that's one thing that was really, really missing here from this camera. So there you go. I mean, that's pretty much what I had to say. I think now, having used this is one of those things that, if you're looking for just an awesome B camera to have as a interview documentary type setup, this is an absolutely awesome, awesome B camera to go on there. It'll never overheat. You'll get a great image, and you can just rely on it with great autofocus. Great, great B camera. If you're in a situation that you're thinking of this for an A camera, man, I don't know. It's kind of tough, man. This thing is really expensive, and it is missing some quote unquote cinema features that I would consider essential. The lack of NDs on there is really, really rough. It is a limiting thing. I think it's one of those things, you will get this, and it probably will drive you crazy down the road. But it's just something to consider as you're looking on the thing. But anyway, all in all, a really, really impressive camera with some limitations. Am I going to get one? I don't know. I think my R5C still holds what I need here to do versus this, especially because my R5C has that EVF and this one does not. I really wish it had C-Log too, so I just have to consider if that is worth the trade-off. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say, but leave me notes in the comments down below. And yeah, go out there, keep on shooting, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.